to get back into the playoffs.
Well,
I mean,
it's FYI, everybody, the Rockies are not on the schedule the rest of the way.
But you know what? Like, last night wasn't disappointing to me. There's like 7 or 8 different things that you could choose from in terms of this Giants season being the most disappointing. And I put it out there, and I was talking about this year, not all time. I don't want to hear about Angel Villalona and prospects. But like, if I was just going to, like, on the day that Luciano got demoted, which I will defend them on this one, his at-bats have not looked good. Now, I don't know what their plan is for him. I don't necessarily agree with their plan, but I also don't think that he was giving them at-bats that, to me, passed the eye test, that deemed him worthy of being in the lineup. He's just, I don't know what he is. Now, the same thing could have been said for Ramos at one point. He looked like one of the worst players I'd seen, and then now he's been a stalwart for this team. But, like, the 5-year hype on Luciano, it's not even close. He doesn't have a position. And I honestly, we could blame the player. I blame the organization. And here's why I blame the organization on Luciano. Not that they brought him down yesterday, but like just overall, you have to assess your own players so you know where they fit in your organization, positionally, offensively. And if it's not with you, then you need to assess that quickly while they have value so that you can trade them. And I'm seeing this thing when it comes to this team with this organization. They are so risk averse. Can't lose the deal. We can't lose the deal. Heaven forbid we trade away in 6 years a guy who turns into maybe Zach Wheeler. We can't lose the deal, Bonte. We can't. Meanwhile, the Niners, for example, are like, screw those picks. We'll get whoever we need and we'll figure it out. Same thing with the Warriors. Like, say what you want. Now, the Warriors have not executed trades as of recent. I feel like they've been aggressive. We can, quibble over trying to lose this player or that player, but it's not like they aren't in the mix. And
right.
I know that they're bold.
Right.
They have done bold things. I mean, swinging a trade for Andrew Wiggins is about as bold as it gets.
I mean, it was bold giving Kelly Oubre all that money just because Clay got hurt. It's like, you know what? We're just going to pivot and try to make the playoffs. And I know Kelly Oubre Jr. didn't fit. They spent over $60 million on that deal. Look, the Luciano deal, which is sad. This is what's
5 years of hype.
Because the tweet, I'll never forget the tweet. It just sounds different coming off of his bat. And he's had to take a BP at Oracle Park. But here's the sad part. You tell us that, hey, we're trading Jorge Soler to open up at-bats for Marco Luciano.
Well, that's a lie.
Well, he made just 6 starts after getting recalled on deadline day. He made just 6 starts. Went 4 for 21 with the double and 9 strikeouts. All right? Then he was out of the lineup for a week, Shasky. Out of the lineup for a week, and then you're asking him, you know what? Go ahead and return against Chris Sale, one of the best pitchers in the National League. After sitting out a week, hey, kid, sit out a week, but when you start, we're going to bring you back against Chris Sale. Be ready.
Well,
what?
But no, real quick, because he rips one in that game to the third baseman. Look, the amount of people that are like, you got to hustle and sprint and like, I was listening to Mark yesterday, and I even texted Mark, and I look, he's allowed his prerogative. Have you ever been in a batter's box ever and ripped one where the third baseman catches it, you take one step out, and you just stop because you're like, damn it.
Wait.
That guy
Did you text Mark that?
What?
Did you text Mark that?
No, I didn't text him that, but I'm saying it now. But like anyone who's played the game has smoked the ball only to have it caught by a guy in the infield, and you take 2 steps out, your body just stops. Now, look, did he sprint after that? No. And that's where he does deserve to be criticized.
Well, that's my point. Even if you smoked one, and look, I haven't run out of a batter's box in a baseball game since I was like 12 years old.
But that start and stop, I will defend him on.
But when you smoke one and you're trying to get playing time, your ass better be sprinting out of the batter's box. But I actually agree with Mark Willard here. You're not playing. You got to play. You got to show this coaching staff and this organization, dude, I need to be on this team. I need to be in the lineup every damn day. You smoke one. You ain't bought a hit in I don't know how long. And you lollygag down the first baseline.
Well, it was after the ball was dropped. That was the part that was...
But then he didn't even speed up. And it was like, well,
that
dude,
was the part.
Come on.
Yes.
I don't care. It was part of it.
The start and stop, I will defend till I'm blue in the face. The part after the ball is dropped by the third baseman, that's where I would agree with everyone.
What if that ball gets through into left field and you're not even hustling? Like, I don't know, man.
Well, you just watched the Pete Rose doc.
I hear you.
Pete Rose broke up a double play.
No doubt.
And this was in the World Series against the Reds when they're down 3-0 in game against the Red Sox when they're down 3-0. And he breaks up a double play and he makes an errant throw. One misplay. It does affect the baseball game. To your point. So one runner in that game might change that game.
But here's my point though with the whole Luciano thing. Not even the play, just the fact that I feel bad for him because I don't think he's been given a fair shot at trying to make this lineup, which is, again, I thought, add him in a deal and go get you a big boy bat. Because obviously this team is missing a big boy bat. As much as we talked about the best rotation, or Farhan talked about it, the best rotation in baseball and the bullpen set up well and blah, blah, blah. You needed a bat, a big boy bat.
I don't disagree.
And I would have dangled Luciano for that. Now, you're telling me Luciano, like, okay, he played second base when he got recalled, when he got sent back down to Sacramento after the Pittsburgh and Mets series, right? And he struggled at shortstop. We get it. Brett Wisely's 3 for his last 21. Casey Smith's 1 for his last 27. I can't play Luciano?
Well, he must be a brick over there.
I mean, just play Luciano. Casey Smith is an automatic out right now. Brett Wisely's an automatic out right now. I got to see what I got in my top prospect here.
This goes back to the data boys, and this is what I will say. Like, I heard Kyle call me, like, people just hate him because they have... No. True OG scouts know what positions you can and can't play. So if we're going to move you on the diamond, I need to know where you can play. And part of your value, like, for example, people will talk about Bus Spencer. He should just move to first base. The value of what I expect from a hitter at first base is different than the value I expect at catcher. So when Buster is catching and he's batting 300, okay, and he's only hitting, let's say, 15 home runs in a season, that's plus offensive output from a catcher. But from the first base position, that's not. I'm talking about league-wide. Right. So when Luciano was deemed a shortstop, that is the premium defensive position outside of catcher on the diamond. Up the middle. Catcher, shortstop, center field. And if you can't identify him as a shortstop, and that's not what it is, well, now his value takes a big hit. So if he's a 20 to 25 home run guy at shortstop, well, in the corner outfield, there's a million of those guys.
Yeah, well, the Giants don't have one of those guys.
Well, and that's why
there's a million of those guys not on the San Francisco Giants. The Giants don't have those guys. They don't even have that guy at first base. But you know what? I'll put this on Farhan. I'll put this on Bob Melvin. It seems like Bob Melvin, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But Bob Melvin, I'm just not impressed with the manager. I'm not impressed with the lineup calls. I'm not impressed with the in-game strategy. I'm not impressed with the way he handles the pitching staff. I'm not impressed with the way he constructs a lineup. Now, I'm going to go to him until I get other evidence that it's Farhan writing out the lineup card. But you're telling me that you couldn't find, you bring up Luciano at the deadline, and you say we're going to get him at bats, which is why we traded Soler, which we all know it was a money thing, not to open up at bats for Marco Luciano. So you lied to our face. Like anybody could see that. As Guru would say, Ray Charles could see that. You're lying to our face saying that you opened up at bats by getting rid of Jorge Soler. No, you save money on that. You tried to save money on that deal. But the fact that he sat a week after being called up and a guy that needs to play, and Wisely's 3 for his last 21, and 3 for his last 21, and Casey Smith's 1 for his last 27. I don't care if Luciano is bobbling balls to second base. Casey Smith is doing it. You telling me Luciano can't get a game or two ahead of Casey Smith? This is unfair treatment to the kid. Now, again, when the kid's lollygagging down the first baseline,
it goes both ways.
You got to hustle.
His at-bats have not been great, too. Like, he hasn't driven the ball. Encarnacion has hit more what I call boom shots than Luciano. I think he's got one. Luciano has none. Like, he's a line drive hitter right now. And that is even a little generous, if I'm being honest with you. His at-bats have not been great. And this is a guy who's supposed to have a plus bat. And this goes back to all right, if he's not playing shortstop and you're moving him to the corner outfield, does he really have a plus bat?
Well, I mean,
does he?
In this outfield, he might.
Because Jock Peterson could be had for $8 million, and the guy has 23 home runs and 80 RBIs.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
You're talking about
That's
bats.
not fair.
Do you know
we gave Jock Peterson $20 million, and he dogged it last year. I'm glad he's gone.
I'm just saying, but like that's 20 home run outfield production on a night where the Giants clearly, like the pitching staff, we could talk about till we're blue in the face. They need a middle of the order guy, and on the night, Aaron frickin' Judge became the fastest in the history of baseball to hit 300. When I heard this yesterday, I said, they should have offered this guy $600 million.
3-0. Hammered in the air, deep to left field. History century, number 300 for Aaron Judge. The fastest man ever in Major League Baseball to reach the 300 home run plateau.
I mean,
Ryan Root on the call there for the Yes Network. Look, I'm over the Aaron Judge thing because you could have offered him $700 million. He's not coming here.
Well, maybe
you know
he thinks about it.
He's not coming here. Like you guys got to understand something about this organization right now. The way Farhan is running things, the way they platoon. That's why the whole Blake Snell thing. He's as good as gone. And look, trading him, he's the only. Him and Logan Webber are the only watchable items on this baseball team right now.
Wait, Yaz pitching in the ninth isn't watchable?
No, that's not watchable. That's embarrassing. I actually did not laugh. I thought it was absolutely flat out embarrassing, and I thought it was rock bottom.
The crowd was going crazy, and to me, if I was running the Giants, you know how you want to be embarrassed? I would be flat out embarrassed in a this is your season on the line series.
And Yaz is pitching the top of the ninth inning.
And the crowd is going more crazy over that than anything all week.
So we could say, hey, he should have offered Shohei this and offered Aaron Judge that. I'm convinced those guys look at the Giants money saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to stay a New York Yankee. You may have been able to offer him $1 billion. He may have said no and said, I'd rather stay at Pinstripes for $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad the Giants are right now. So when you talk about Marco Luciano, maybe he goes to the corner outfield. Well, I'm looking at my corner outfield. How many home runs does Conforto have? 12? How many home runs does Yaz have? You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen one at-bat where this, like, Luciano, and I know it's 21 at-bats. We're not talking about a lot. Did you see one at-bat where he drove the ball?
No, but I think the guy needs a chance. The guy needs a chance.
But I'm with you. But Bonte, we've got all these used parts we have to play. You got to play Conforto because you got to. Because you got to.
Well, they didn't give Luciano not even a month. They said they opened up a spot at DH to give Luciano at bats, and they sat him for a week
to bring in Mark Canha.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Who's actually had infinitely better at bats than Luciano,
right?
Which is the reality, and it's just what it is.
I know. PB on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union for a lower $8 loan. Apply online and just ask for First NorCal financing at the dealer.